So we're here at the bowling at Nugget Bowling Center, and just found out we're gonna be playing at a 45 feet pattern. There's a lot of oil in the middle, but there's nothing outside, nothing at all. So I'm gonna be looking for a ball that maybe goes longer and doesn't hook as much at the very end. So let's see how that happens. We're about to start practicing in about maybe 15, 20 minutes. So might as well get it set up right now. All right, what's the game plan here? Yep.
Follow the pattern. I'm probably gonna start with my idol, and then probably just switch to my dreams. Because I'm right now adding surface to all my balls.
All your balls. What surface you're adding?
1,000.
1,000 pattern all. All right. And if you guys don't know who this is, Rookie Tony.
Yes, sir. Follow me on Instagram.
Yes, sir. Don't follow him. So I scored about a 183 on the first game, and plus the handicap, I got 218. So plus 18 on the first. Really struggled with the phase a little bit. Just didn't go in as much as I expected it to be, because in practice it was going real good. Maybe it could have been the way my hand adjustment was on the phase. But I switched over to 30 offset, and it worked a lot well. It's just on the 10th frame as always, for some reason for me, always gets a split. So we're looking to keep it on positive for the second game, and it's going to be real burnt up on the next lane. So we'll go to 3 and 4, long way down. On to the second.
Posted game by game up on our scoreboard, right there behind lane 11 or so. You can track your progress each game. Pretty good scores so far today.
All right, so we just finished around second and third game right now. Second game, I went plus 44. Really great. Handicap once again helps. But the thing that was funny about the second game was that on the third lane that we bowled in, there was a bump there on the lane. It was really weird to play on, but I didn't notice it at first. But until one of the people in our table was like, "Hey, there's a bump in the third lane," and I was like, "Nah, you tripping, man." And until I looked into it more, there was. So I was like, damn, all right. And it could have helped me, I'm not gonna lie, it did help me, maybe, possibly. So that went really well for second. Third game, we went pretty well as well too. I don't think Anthony didn't do so well in the third. So we're gonna try to pick it up on, he's gonna try to pick it up on the fourth and fifth. And I'm gonna try to pick it up even more better on fourth and fifth as well. Huh? So let's see what we can do on these last two games. We now finished game 4 and 5, and we found out the cut. I made it 9th into the cut, so about to get into the next round. The 5th game I choked, but at least I made it to 9th. That's all that matters. 3D offset is it's been working out all day. All these games have been working out with 3D. I'm gonna keep it with 3D offset with the next round. Hopefully it works out. I might sand it if I can, and might even try DBA. Hopefully these lanes will be forgivable on these next rounds. Unfortunately, Anthony, next time. I believe in this man next time. So on to the next. It's gonna be a total of 2 games I'll be playing right here. And total pinfall, the pins that I have gone in from the last 5 games doesn't count. These are a whole new pins. So 3D offset doesn't look good. I thought it would, so I switched to phase. Phase looked a lot better. That's on the next. Let's get it. All right, Anthony, what's your final thoughts on this JBT?
Bro, I sucked, bro. And I was playing in. Today just wasn't my day. I struggled at the end, but I didn't really play bad. I only missed qualifying by like 8 plays, probably like 28.
Did you have any like thoughts of like I should have done this or that?
I feel like I should have moved more to the left at the beginning.
One more to the left, all right. Yeah, at least you get the ball somewhere new.
Yeah,
That's a positive.
That's the thing you just gotta learn.
As always, guys, make sure you guys go follow Brookie Tony. As always, follow him. All right. What's up, everyone? We are now back at my home. We came back from Pahrump, and I'm just gonna give you my my conclusions to my point of view of this JBT tournament and how things could have went my way or things I could have fixed. and just giving you my general like whole scenario and whole statistics of all my games of how I played wrong. So I think I'm gonna go through talking about from the first game. All right, the first game I did roll phase 2. It looked a lot better. I did send it to a 1000 pad. It was working real well in practice. I was throwing my shots real good in practice. And during the first game, when it started, it wasn't really working as much. It didn't hook in what it used to be in practice. Again, I think it could have went down to my hand positioning. Maybe I was too much around it. It was too late to come back. Or something was just not working out where it wasn't the same during practice. So around the 5th frame, I switched to I did switch to the 3D offset. It worked in my favor. I liked how it worked out. It went in when I wanted it to be, and overall, it just did not have any stoppage. Of course, it left 10 pins, 7 pins, or even other pins, and I think left some, of course, splits during the first. But I still picked it up, and I did pretty decent. Like I just said during the first game when I was there. So I then kept going in the second game. And yes, the 3D offset was lightly sanded. It was lightly sanded to a 1000. So it kept going doing its thing in the second game. Strikes, spares, splits. It sucked. But I still kept it rolling no matter what. I kept going on to the third game. It didn't show no signs of slowing down. I did like the release of it. And what I've been noticing too a lot when I look back at these videos, I've been stepping off a lot. I don't know if that could be a problem of how I'm just finishing whenever on my throws, because you're supposed to keep the same finish position every time. You're not supposed to step off as much. Like, you can step off. I've seen tons of bowlers like step off a lot, but not to a point where it's almost every shot it's stepping off. I'm just like, do I really step off a lot? And then there's some shots where I just keep it in the same position and it looks good. Once I step off, it'll either be a missed shot too much to the right, or it just didn't go my way. And yet there's some I did strike. It's just, I guess in a way, I have to keep it consistent of how I finish during those shots. So that's a point that I wanted to point out. Fourth game as usual, pretty good. I think the fourth and third were the best I played in JBT in that day, in Pahrump. And then the fifth game, I completely choked on that last one. It was pretty bad. I think I did pretty well for the first 5 frames, and then around the last ones, I just completely got out of it. Even with the last pin I had, it was a gettable spare, and yet I completely messed up. And I think that was it the 9th pin? I think it was the 9th pin, and I had 2 of those today. I'm 0-2 on those. So that is something I got to work on, because wow, they just went straight to the gutter. I wanted to stand mainly in, I think, the 30th board. Was I standing? No, I wasn't standing in the 30th board. Those are for like for the 10 and the other one. But I did stand, I think, in the 25th board, and I tried to shoot it straight up, but I just went too far to the gutter. So I got to really change that in the future for my next practices, of course, and then the next tournament will be in Mesquite, which is on April. So I have lots of time to practice. So let's talk about the main thing that really messed me up a lot, which was the second round, which I had real confidence in with the 3 offset. I did, and then I had my practice in. But after a few shots with those practice shots with the 3 offset, it didn't look well. So I went back to my phase, which I wanted to have a ball that was half used, of course, for five frames. I wanted a ball that was like half used and still had maybe a little bit of sanding on it, so it went more in and smoother instead of snapping so much, because the 3 offset was snapping a lot. So I needed to go more down of a benchmark ball, which would be, of course, the phase 2. It worked a lot well, but then in some scenarios, it just kept dying out on me in some shots, and it left me one pins, of course, which is not bad when you really think about it. But I kept leaving these 1 pins, 10 pins, 7 pins, even like the 4th pin or something like that. I think it was like the 4th pin. Yeah, I kept leaving those, and I'm like, dude, why can I not strike? Like, I'm either hitting pocket shot, leaving 1, or it's like a pretty bad, like almost close to a nose, but yet it still manages to keep at least 1, luckily. And then there was the 7th frame, and it just hit nose straight away. It was looked like it was gonna be a good shot, and nope, it just hit nose. That really pissed me off a lot. It really did piss me off a lot. And I was like, dude, really? And I kept going until the 10th frame. I was like, you know what? I'm gonna throw one more time with the phase. Just see what happens. If it doesn't work out, I'm gonna see if I can pick it up, and then threw the offset. And then as soon as I did, I threw the offset and I did strike. So I was like, you know what? I'm going to throw my 3D offset back now, right? Probably the hugest mistake I could ever do when I'm really thinking about it, and what my dad was telling me, is that 3D offset was not the move that I should have gone. I should have just kept with the phase straight up, because I bought a 177 with the phase, and yet I should not be complaining, because that still got me points at least. But in that point in time where I had the mentality, I'm like, you know what? I think 3D offset's going to work out. I've been using it all day, and it's going to work out now. But in a point of view, in reality, it's not. Because now I'm realizing it that the 3D offset is just now a dead ball, or not the greatest ball to use, because it's going to lose its energy, and it's just either hooks a lot or just dies out. It's mainly a random ball. But I maybe could have worked it out if I went more left. I kept the same position every time with these shots. I either kick it out too much, or just like right around that area where it looks good, and then it just snaps to the nose, or Brooklyn's with the 3D offset. So either way, it was still a tough scenario that I went through in the second round. And this is I believe my 3rd appearance in the second round during the cut, and I've yet to advance in these JBT tournaments. I don't know when I'm gonna start changing the scenario of me advancing to the 3rd or even any rounds, because it's just been no luck for me at all. No luck. And it's pretty disappointing. I really think I've been talking about it now, realizing what I could have done and all these other changes and all that. But not too shabby overall in this JBT and Pahrump new area. I did like, the bowling center was nice, but damn, it was small. And I was like thinking about it, like I've been through the bowling center, like I've seen it. It's just I never bowled in it. And then like when JBT was gonna go there, I'm like, there's no way that we're gonna have that much people playing in that bowling area. And luckily it wasn't. It was like around maybe 80 people, I believe, 90, around there. So it wasn't too bad, but still pretty crowded a little. But yeah, I think that's all about it for me. Had fun. And then Anthony was tough. I'm not gonna lie, if I have to talk about Brookie Tony. With the way his ball goes, is that it's either hooking too much for him, which was the idle. The idle was going in way too much when it hits the dry. It was hitting nose, or it was just Brooklyn all the way. And then once it hits pocket shot, it would leave him 1 pin, like everyone, or it'd leave him a bad spot. So it sucked for him today. A lot of people had ons and offs on this tournament. Route 66 V2 wasn't too bad to handle, but damn, that transition at the end for me, whew, it's tough. That's all part of the learning process. So that's about it, guys. Thank you guys for watching, and comment what your thoughts on it, and give me any suggestions that I should do to improve my game, because again, I'm trying to find new ways to improve my game all the time, and including how to release my ball right. I've been really struggling how to like get off my ball but behind the ball. I wanted to get behind the ball instead of the side. So let me know if you guys have any tips for that, because man, I really need to get behind it more. But yeah, thank you guys once again. Thank you. JBT is on April, so expect that to be the next video on bowling. So check out, everyone.